So today I'm going to try to explain to you what it's like to live with social anxiety disorder, something that I struggle with on a daily basis. So let's get started. I thought, well, what can I talk to you about that is important? And I thought, you know what, I could talk about what it's like to live with social anxiety disorder, because I think that's the thing that I misunderstood the most about. I think that people assume because of the way I look, or because I enjoy dressing up, or that I have a YouTube channel, or that I wear makeup, that I must be really outgoing, but not in social ways, okay? Like, there are things I do that people might think are unusual or not understand, but I don't consider that outgoing. So I pretty much have had it my whole life, and I don't know if it's something you're born with or what, but it's pretty much ruined my life, I'll tell you that. And it makes it very hard to make friends and keep friends. When I have anxiety, it's like my mind goes blank. It's crazy. It's like, I'm not a stupid person, but it's like, doesn't matter how hard I try, it's like my anxiety is so bad, I feel like running out of the room. And then I'm trying to be polite because people like stare at me like a lot. And sometimes it's like, I'm just trying to keep it together. I'm not trying to be rude. And that's the other thing. I think people take social anxiety as rudeness, because sometimes you're just trying not to have a panic attack and you're trying not to like run away. So you have to not make eye contact, because the eye contact makes it more real, and for some reason it makes your anxiety worse. In a way, dressing up really fancy kind of creates a barrier, because you dress the way you want to be treated. And so when I dress up really nice, it's like I get more respect, and then people aren't, I guess they're not as comfortable with me, which I kind of like a little bit, because then it helps my anxiety. And it's not like I'm better than you. It's like, can I please get through the night without running out the door, you know? And alcohol really helps with anxiety. And sometimes I've had situations where I've drank a little too much because the situation I was in was so important, and you know, I couldn't leave, I wasn't driving or whatever it was. I committed to this long evening, you know, out and about with people, and I may get a little too relaxed. And because I have social anxiety, I don't always know how to behave, because it's like going from completely uncomfortable to, oh, now I'm relaxed, now I feel kind of normal. I haven't felt normal in a long time, if I even know what normal feels like. And then it's like maybe I say too much or not enough, and so it goes from being really awkward to like maybe too friendly, you know? And then you see those people again like weeks later or something, and they expect you to be this outgoing person you had after you had a couple drinks in you, and like, no, you're back to that shy, kind of reserved social anxiety person who is barely able to speak because their anxiety is making them feel crazy, you know? So then I think people take it as I'm being rude. Like, oh, I either don't remember them or I don't like them. But I don't have a problem with them at all. I wish I could be normal. And that's the other thing. I couldn't tell you how many times when I've tried to explain to people I have social anxiety disorder that they tell me, oh, get over it. Oh, just get over it. Then I know they don't understand, and they think I'm lying. It's also extra hard when you explain to somebody your condition and they seem to understand, and then, you know, time passes, like weeks or months, and then you feel like you need to remind them that you have this condition. Like, the way you're behaving right now that seems weird is because of your condition. And then they say to me, oh, you need to stop saying that because nobody believes you. I'm like, what? Nobody believes I have social anxiety disorder? And I'm like, well, why would I make that up? And then they say something like, nobody believes somebody like you would have it. Or they say, I'm just making it up for attention. Or I'm just making excuses because I'm lazy. And then I know that this is not going to be going any further. This friendship is going to be ending. The other thing is like, I'll end up having one really good friend, And then it's like I can't really hang out with anyone else but that person. And then I'm like completely myself with that person, and then I feel normal. Like, wow, finally someone I can go and have dinner with or go out and dress up with or whatever and just feel like a normal person. And then it's like they start figuring out that there isn't anybody else in my life besides like my family or like one other person. So then all of a sudden it's like I need them. They think I need them. And then they start being mean to me. And then they start doing stuff where they expect me to pay for stuff for them. And then when you start going, well, why do I need to pay for this for you? Like, why do I need to buy your lunch? You know, why do I need to buy your drinks? Why are you showing me this outfit you want like I'm supposed to pay for it? And first they like won't really answer the question, but then after a while they'll go, because you need me. And I'd be like, what do you mean I need you? Well, you don't have anybody else. And it's like, oh, I didn't know you had to pay for friends. Does that mean they don't really like me after all? Or does that mean they talked to somebody else about me and that person said some really awful things about me that doesn't understand I have social anxiety and that I'm just a weirdo, or I'm just some rude stuck-up bitch because I have social anxiety and I freeze up in my mind and, you know, I'm trying not to have a panic attack? As soon as somebody says, you need me, or you don't have any friends, or I'm your only friend, as soon as they say that, the friendship is over. It's absolutely over. They will start disrespecting you. Believe me, I would never pick to have social anxiety disorder. I wish I could go out and be so totally social and normal. I wish I could have this great group of friends where we all go out sometimes and we all have a good time and it's not weird to talk to the other one, you know. It's almost like I feel like I have this big secret, that having this condition is a big secret, because people seem to put value on how many friends you have. Like, you're more valuable if you have all these friends. If you don't have very many friends, or if you don't have any friends at all, then you must not be valuable. There must be something wrong with you. And instead of trying to figure out what's going on, they just dismiss you. And I think that we get confused with shyness with this disorder, because they're not the same thing at all. Shyness is something that like you can get over, like it eventually like leaves, but this is a condition that doesn't leave, and there's no medication for it. There has been a couple of times when I've been in social settings and it'll be like the guy I'm dating brought me into a group of their friends, and I won't really feel like being social. I'll feel kind of weird, and it will just like hit me right before I'm supposed to meet them, you know, like, and I'll be like, oh no, this is gonna be really bad. This is gonna be really bad, because I don't even know if I can speak with how much anxiety I have and how strange I'm feeling. Like, I literally, my mind goes blank. I can't really talk if I try. I'm sure I look stupid, okay? I'm sure I look like an absolute idiot when this happens, and I can't control it, and I'm so embarrassed about it. And then you don't want to see those people again because that's what they think of. It's come to the point where I think if I make another new friend or I start dating a new guy, I'm gonna have to avoid meeting their friends, because it's always after I meet them that it's always weird. They always start, you know, ghosting me or acting strange. And I think it's because one of their friends said something negative about me, not realizing it's about my condition. You know, they don't understand why I don't have a group of girlfriends. Well, why doesn't she have a group of girlfriends? Well, because first of all, girls don't really like hanging out with me, and people like to be very competitive with me, and I don't like to be competitive, and it's hard for me to go out and be social like that. You may think you're doing me a favor by inviting me out to your party or inviting me to your barbecue, but honestly, I don't want to go because it's socially awkward for me. It makes me uncomfortable. There's going to be somebody that's rude to me because they think I'm being rude, and they don't realize they're making fun of me for my condition. You're making fun of a person for their disability. I have a disability. You're making fun of me for it. There'll be that friend that I think really, you know, we're friends. I think we're friends. And they will eventually just block me on social media. Are they blocking me on social media because they don't want me to see what they post, or because they don't want other people to know that they're friends with me? And just the question in it by itself is so like hurtful, you know, like wondering that. And I've asked them and they won't even give me a straight answer. Well, why do you want to talk to me all the time? And why do you hang out with me, but you want to block me on social media? So that makes my anxiety worse. It makes me think I'm a secret because of whatever. Am I a secret because I have social anxiety disorder and you hung out a group of people that talked mad shit about me because they didn't understand my disorder? So instead of just standing up for me and saying, hey, you know, she's really cool, she has social anxiety disorder, maybe you should give her a break, maybe you laughed along with them, you know, I don't know, but it's something that happens. And I want you to know that me making a YouTube channel was a huge risk for me because I don't know who's watching this. I don't know if it's an old friend of mine that things went bad and they're watching this to make fun of me. I don't know if it's a relative that I hate, because I have a couple relatives that have done awful things to me and I think it's because of my disorder and they didn't realize I have a disorder and they might be watching this. Could be my neighbor, you know, it could be anybody, I don't know. Back when I was judging a lot of the strip club contests, and I would be more dressed up than anybody else, and that was just because it was fun for me and it helped my anxiety. And some people would try to talk to me about my outfit or like flirt with me. And when I first got to the club, my anxiety's so bad. Like I have to have a drink immediately so I don't just like freeze up in my mind. And somebody had tried talking to me. It was like one of the dancers that was gonna compete. And I had no problem with her at all. Like I kind of wanted to be your friend. And then she like said something to me about my outfit and I kind of smiled and like all of a sudden my mind went blank. I was so embarrassed. And then I felt like running away, like this huge feeling like run away, run away, run away. And I'm like, oh no, don't do this to me right now. And like she was being so nice and I literally had to walk away and just kind of smile. And she's like, are you just walking away from me right now? And I'm like, what am I supposed to say? Like my anxiety is making me crazy. And then of course she took it offensive and probably thinks I'm rude. But I really just my anxiety and now I avoid her. Not that I'll ever see her again, but because it's like she probably thinks about that when she sees me. That time she tried to be nice and I ran away and smiled. Yeah, I was stupid for that, but I literally thought I was gonna have a panic attack because I just got to the club and you know, whatever, it was bad. And it just makes me feel, I feel like I am a ghost in the world. I sometimes feel like if you're in like Grand Theft Auto or something, have you ever played that? And then there's like the mode where there's no missions. You can just walk around driving the cars and like do kinds of crazy things, but you're like, there's no mission. That's how I feel. I feel like I am just walking around with no purpose and I'm just waiting to die. And that's how it feels to have this. So if you're thinking, oh, well, don't try to look so nice, don't wear makeup, and then maybe you won't get this attention or whatever. No, because then I'll be thinking about how disgusting I look. Like yesterday, I went to Costco and there were so many people there yesterday that I started feeling crazy, but I already had a cart full of stuff I was buying and I wanted to run away. And I felt so trapped and so crazy and felt like so out of place, like, oh, I don't belong here. This is, everyone's, you know, realizes I shouldn't be here, you know, like that kind of thing. I started feeling like that when I came home, it kind of like stayed with me, that feeling of not belonging and feeling like awkward and weird. So that happens sometimes. So I hope that hearing my story and hearing my situation and how it affects me helps you understand me a little bit better, and maybe you know somebody else that has social anxiety, you didn't know that they had it, you know, and now maybe you can understand them a little bit. And maybe if you see someone kind of keeping themselves, it's not because they're shy, it's not because they don't want to know you, it's not because they have a problem with you, it's because they're fighting the anxiety inside their mind. And if someone seems a little funny when you say hi to them or try to have a conversation, maybe they just have social anxiety. Things to think about. So it's slightly embarrassing talking about this, but yet like people need to know about this, you know, like I'm not the only one that has this. So anyways, wild animals, if you haven't already, remember to like and subscribe, and to remember to always have patience with people because we are all going through something. All right, I will see you next time.